Be new guy on USS Enterprise. 2005. Ship is once again in Newport News shipyard. Ship designed to last for 30 years. 45-ish at this point. Something's always broken. First and only carrier of its kind, for a reason. Instead of 2 properly sized reactors, it has 8 small ones. Overcomplicated, undermanned, and past its service life. Repairs are taking too long as always. Shipyard workers are only paid if they are working on a ship. Whole area is insanely poor. Therefore, repairs never finish on time. Pentagon decides to tell Captain to pull out early, go on sea trials, and finish remaining work pierside in Norfolk. Reactor officer, aka Crazy Joe Creed, has never left an ass unkissed in his career. Tells the CO, no problem. Most likely filleted him as well. Chief Engineer tells CO no way. Too much work incomplete. Channel not safe. CO says too bad. Channel down the James River gets dredged and mapped every 2 years. Hasn't been done in 1.9 years. Chief Engineer calls Pentagon from the flight deck. Tells them he can see the sandbar in their path from up there. Pentagon says pull out anyway. The cost per day to stay in the shipyard is just too high. Shipyard bills the Navy for steam, water, super pure water, electrical, and sewage. So the day comes. Stand 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. watch before scheduled pullout. Get off watch. Go to my rack. Go to sleep. Tugs push boat around into the river and head back to Norfolk. Boat putts along for a bit. Announcing circuit kicks in. Loss of vacuum number. Turbine generator condenser. Casualty assistant team respond. Not my job, .jpg. Loss of vacuum number. Main engine condenser. Casualty assistant team respond. Not my job, .jpg. Loss of vacuum number. Turbine generator condenser. Casualty assistance team respond. Still not my job, .jpg. Emergency shutdown. All 8 reactors. All nuclear trained personnel mustered in the aft bomb transfer area. Guess that's my job, .jpg. Roll out of bed, fling on coveralls and boots. Head to the mess deck area where everybody's shoving tables out of the way to assemble 2 departments. Find out ship sucked up a sandbar, just as Chief Engineer predicted. Every seawater intake that was sucking in cool river water to cool plant equipment has clogged. No way to cool and condense steam, therefore no way to pull steam through turbines. So the power goes out. 4 massive V16 emergency diesel generators are in place for just such an emergency. One starts. Just one. They get another going hours later, but the other 2 never play a role. Guess what? Some work was that the chief engineer worried about. Boats drifting, dead stick, down the James River, no control. Tugs are racing back. Tugs are not fast. Only available power is used for the radios, announcing circuit and reactor coolant pumps. Chief Engineer saw it coming, so plans were in place and there was excess reactor cooling capacity available. Steam generator levels were kept abnormally high so steam could be bled off and lost without worry. This keeps the reactors safe, but doesn't do much for creature comforts. No ventilation in the plants whatsoever. Engine room must be manned during emergency shutdown. Temperature hits 160 degrees in the uppermost level, with less than 100% humidity. It actually rained inside the aircraft carrier. Stay times were 5 minutes out of every hour. Then you were out and guzzling water. One senior chief who refused to leave his post was wrestled out by his men. Up 2 flights of 70-degree stairs with handrails too hot to touch. They got him to medical after he stopped sweating and got crazy. Medical made him ride the Silver Rocket. They shoved a thermometer up his ass. Eventually, the tugs arrive and the ship is towed back to Norfolk. Power is supplied by shore cables. Ventilation is restored. The work of clearing the condensers begins. Mechanics end up down in the 100-degree engine rooms, opening up inspection ports to scrape out dirty river bottom. The engine room just reeks, like a pier at low tide. Bilges fill up with salt water and mud. They're pulling out dead fish, clams, stingrays, etc., etc. One group even pulled out a live 2-foot shark and released it into the bilge, because lulz. Because of how hard the day was on all the poor non-nuclear sailors, the galley decides to serve an extra special meal, lobster and crab legs. Mess decks end up reeking with the same stench as the 100-degree rainy engine rooms. Nubs like me are sent to McDonald's at the end of the pier to bring back food that doesn't make you want to puke. Eventually, the Pentagon decides to get into the blame game and attack the ship's leadership. You know, because a vessel with 8 reactors just lost the ability to intake cooling water while on an inland waterway within the continental United States. Fortunately, the chief engineer kept detailed records of every mail, email, and phone call he made. Dead accurate assessment of what would happen saved his ass, and led the Pentagon to drop the matter, lest they look like politically motivated assholes who care more about counting money than they do about reactor safety. Which they are.